Enter Keith Olbermann. Everyone knows who Keith Olbermann is. He's like the Bill O'Reilly of the left. He's been bouncing around from news station to news station. Nobody can keep him because he's so nuts. He gets so much hate letters about him because he's such a nutcase. The dude's crazy.
He spews lies and hate. I mean, that's really what he does.
Just look at his face, dude. He just looks like a crazy person. Like, imagine if he was your neighbor. He'd be like, get your garbage cans off my lawn. Like, he's one of those type of people. You know what I mean? Like, he's crazy. So we're gonna give you the recent Keith Olbermann. He's been gone for a while. He's been in his basement.
Every single one of his videos now is about how awful Trump is and how bad Trump is.
So he's returned to come and fight the orange man. And so we're gonna play the video, and we're gonna pause it as we see need to debunk what he's saying.
Absolutely.
So here we go. Keith Olbermann, everybody.
By understanding what might be a more awful truth still standing behind this demonic president. Our best case scenario,
Okay, demonic president. Let's start right there. Demonic president. The president that likes to read his Bible and he wants to bring Bible studies back into the picture. And he's demonic.
Yeah, the president that tells the churches to open
the
after the Democratic governors try and close churches and close worship services. Right. That president?
Right.
Brightest outcome on election day is a landslide, so thorough and unequivocal that even Trump's...
So in this whole video, there's one thing I agree with. We need a landslide, except the other way. He's talking about a landslide for Biden.
Right.
We need a landslide for Trump, so they can't come in with all these, fraudulent voters, mail-in votes later on to try and turn the election.
So here's one thing I noticed, that the left now is pushing this thing where Trump's not gonna submit if he loses. He's gonna fight it tooth and nail. It's like, okay, so what happened in 2016 again? What about Russian collusion? What about impeachment? What about it's still going on to this day?
Well, and Trump's even
do not concede, Hillary Clinton
if this is a fair election and I lose, I will step away.
Yeah.
But if there's all these millions and millions of fraud mail-in votes, then I'm going to have an issue if I don't think it was a fair election. So that's all he's saying. As long as it's a fair election, if he loses, he will step down.
Right. Let's keep going.
Enablers, the Republican Party, political whores, every one of them, will not go out onto the limb with him and try to overturn his election defeat in the courts or on the streets or with the military. It must be a win so overwhelming.
Okay. The military. Now they're saying that Trump's such a fascist that he's going to get the military to keep him in office if he loses.
It's
just nuts,
I don't even know. Yeah, it's just
nonsense. Just spewing nonsense.
They and these maggots who believe in fascism, the kind that Donald Trump has already brought to this country, scurry back into
pause it. Believe in fascism. Okay. Let's start with let's break this down now. What is fascism? I'm asking you.
It's centralized government. The government is in power, and they essentially command and they choose
command the economy. They command policy.
They're in control of everything.
Centralized government controls everything.
Freedom of speech,
dictatorship,
gone. Freedom of
monarchy,
religion,
that's
gone.
Right.
Yeah. Now the government's your religion.
So
get rid of
real
religion.
So let's see who's the real fascist, right? We want to control healthcare. We want to make freedom of speech hate speech. We want to raise taxes. We want more regulations on everything to make everyone safer.
We want to close churches. We want to do all.
We want
this
everyone
stuff.
to wear a mask.
It's the mandate after mandate. He's the anti-fascist.
Trump is the anti-fascist.
Yeah.
He cuts taxes for everybody, not just the rich. If you made $10, you got 10%. You made $10. You only got 10%. You got 10% tax cut for that. Everyone got 10%. Across the board. Yes, he also cut taxes for the rich who are getting 70% of their taxes. Some people were paying 70% tax rates for some people.
Fascists would put in many regulations. He's deregulating.
He deregulated almost 3,000 regulations on small business in 2017 overnight.
That's not what a fascist does. No.
Okay, fascists don't promote freedom of speech. Fascism doesn't allow Keith Olbermann to go on YouTube and talk about how he's a maggot. Because what a fascist would do is they'd arrest him for that.
If we were in Russia or China and somebody
said that,
does this,
they're dead.
About Putin or Yao, they'll
kill them.
Oh yeah, they would disappear them.
Yeah.
They would be gone. I mean,
sort of like what Hillary Clinton does.
Best case scenario, that person would be in jail, but most likely they would be dead.
Right.
They would kill him, and they would have the power to do that.
So if you think Trump's the fascist, you're just wrong. You're just uneducated. You just don't know what you're
fascist
talking
president doesn't let the states do what
about.
they want.
Another thing, yeah.
It would be federal government.
If you look at all of
overlooking
Trump's
everything.
all of Trump's policies on certain issues, even abortion. He's pro-life. He doesn't care. He's not making a law that all he literally says states decide.
Exactly. That's not what a fascist does.
States decide their own laws.
Fascist is the federal government would control everything.
Yeah, he's the exact opposite of a fascist in so many ways. We didn't even name them all.
We could literally spend 30 minutes talking about how he's not a fascist.
Yeah, let's keep going.
All right, let's go.
Holes, disbelieving and shocked, but like him, ultimately interested only in one thing: saving their own asses. Our best case scenario is a defeated Trump having no
really saving their own asses. So actually caring about the future of the country and not just the select few, not just the whoever we need to support to get more votes.
So right before this and right now too, he's talking about how they need such a landslide where Trump supporters can't, come and help and try and overturn the election. You mean how Hillary just recently told Biden under no circumstances concede the election?
Right.
Like that?
Yeah.
Alternative but to concede defeat. And yet, you know in your heart what would follow even that decisive and blessed moment. If Trump actually accepts losing, he will not even pause for breath before he immediately announces that he is seeking the presidency in 2024. And therein lies the real terror of this time of the madman.
What is that based off?
I don't know.
I don't even know. I don't know what to say to that.
Even if he did, though, you're allowed to have 2 terms. He could run in 2024 if he lost in 2020, but that's so unlikely.
He's not going to
happen. Yeah.
Nothing indicates that he's going to do that.
That really never happens, and
Right.
he's never even said anything like that. So he's just talking out of his ass.
Yeah.
Revealed about America and to the unprincipled scum who have been for decades merely pretending they are not racist. They are not homophobic. They are not anti-Semitic. They are not anti-democracy. They are not obsessed with violence and death. The shy haters. What he revealed is they will not go away just because Trump concedes an election. They have been authenticated by him.
Oh, okay.
They have been told that they're
obsessed with violence and death. Okay, so is it conservatives that are in every single city graffitiing the streets and smashing windows and
looting,
rioting,
stealing, burning?
Yeah, is it them doing that? I'm not sure here, Keith. Let's look at that. What else did he say?
You know what this reminds me of? Remember when Trump, right when he announced he was running, they talked about how if he won, he would put us into wars and he would be, violent and evil and this and that.
Yeah.
That's what this reminds me of. And Trump actually is pulling us out of
videos like this,
the Middle East.
Videos like this help Trump. People see this and they're like, whoa.
They're like, this doesn't make any sense. Trump's been in president for almost 4 years now, and
happened.
he's pulled us out of the Middle East.
So he said pretending to be racist. Okay, let's look at that. Who is the ones that are obsessed with race that have to point out the percentage of blacks being killed by percentage of cops and this, that, and the third. Oh, this test is racist because black people percentage of failure are higher than percentage of whites. Do you see that conservatives ever talking about percentage of races?
The
doing
Democrats
anything?
cannot talk about anything
with race.
without race now. That's all they talk about.
Pretending to be homophobic. Really, the first Republican in United States history that actually told his supporters in a rally that we're going to have the backs of gay and lesbian people. Trump's the only president. Let's play that clip right now. Trump's the only Republican president.
He's the only president, period.
The only president.
Obama didn't come out to support
Check this
them.
out, and fact check me all you want. Donald Trump is the only president to enter the White House pro-gay marriage.
Yep. Obama didn't even do that.
Obama changed his mind during his presidency because the popular swing was we should allow gay marriage. He did not go into the White House saying he's going to fight for gay marriage.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Trump's
Obama
the only
didn't.
president
Trump
to
did.
enter the White House saying, I think gay people should be able to marry.
Another thing is he said anti-Semitic. So he's anti-Semitic, but he moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He's had Israel's back the whole time.
Jared Kushner is like his number one right-hand man.
He just brokered multiple peace deals between Israel and the Middle East. So he's anti-Semitic. Huh?
If you say that Trump is anti-Semitic, you have no idea what's going on.
He has Jewish grandchildren.
He has Jewish grandchildren, and he's literally the most. Israel just made a coin with Donald Trump's face on it.
He's the most pro-Israel president ever.
Israel's the most pro-Trump country besides America.
Yeah, because he's had their back the entire way.
That's completely debunked right there. So let's keep going.
Failures are somebody else's fault. They have been reassured that their worthlessness is the result of enemy A or enemy B or enemy C. They have been given 5 years in the sunlight, and they are a blight that will be with us for generations. There can be no mistaking what is ahead of us in this best of possible scenarios, a period in which a Trump-led minority will continue to terrorize this country. And Trump, whose only barely human delight comes from the applause of the morons in the crowd, will seek that pleasure again and endlessly until the day he dies.
Pause it.
We unleash.
So it's Trump supporters that have been terrorizing this country?
Right.
We just talked about it, how Antifa and BLM, they're all far left liberals. They are domestic terrorists for the left.
Right.
Who's been terrorizing?
So and then that's that he's going to keep saying that, and you're right. He also said that Trump led the minority. Okay, first of all, okay, yeah, did Hillary Clinton win the popular vote? Yeah, she did by a few million votes.
Yeah, it wasn't anything
out
big.
of 300 million people. It's really just a sliver. Now check this out though. Look at a map. Go by not even by state, by county. Say pro-Trump counties versus pro-Democrat counties. The whole map is red. Only a little tiny bit of it's blue. So that means all these dense areas of Democrat voters are actually the minority. So if you look at population, that doesn't mean anything. People that live in New York City and Brooklyn have mostly the same objectives and values compared to people in Nebraska and South Carolina. So it goes by land. It does. It doesn't. It really matters when it comes down to counties and districts. It does. So that's wrong. It's not the minority. It's that the majority of the country is actually Republican. That's why we have electoral college, to protect people, because people who live in different areas have different wants and needs, and they need to be protected by a electoral college. It's a fact. It's been studied. It's been proven.
Yeah, California doesn't care about the Midwest and farming.
No, they don't.
I mean,
so basically, if you're saying that if we get rid of the electoral college and say that majority went, like he's saying right here, the majority should lead. You're saying that all you have to do is take in as much illegal immigrants as possible and cram them into cities and say, vote for us and we'll give you what you want.
Yep.
And we could stay in our ivory towers and stay in power.
that's literally mob rules.
That's the wrong thing you want.
Mob rules.
If you allow that to happen, say bye to your country.
Yep.
This terrorism via the activating mechanism of reality television. Trump unleashed his terrorists via the activating mechanism of encouraging them to hate.
So he just called morons in the crowd, working middle-class people that don't like to see half their check go to the government and get nothing in return. You get no government benefits. You just pay for other people's benefits. You're a moron for just being real and having an opinion.
So far, he's called President Trump supporters. You're talking about the conservatives, the Republicans, the Christians. He's called them scum, maggots, terrorists,
half the country,
morons.
This guy can just call half the country maggots and morons.
And who's out of touch?
Where's cancel culture on this? Where's Twitter taking him down? Alex Jones got banned for saying that Sandy Hook was a hoax.
So
it's a ridiculous thing to say, first of all.
He
got banned for that because he made people mad, because he offended people.
Isn't this hate speech?
How is that not hate speech?
It's unbelievable.
He just called half the country maggots and scumbags.
Hardworking American people, maggots, scum.
Oh, by the way,
morons.
So the majority of the country, right? The majority of the country, like he said, it's a minority-led Trump. Guess what the like-dislike ratio of this video is? And here, by the way, this is some anecdotal evidence of what's going to happen in November. He's got 1.8 thousand dislikes and only 196 likes. So that's a 10-to-1 ratio, dislikes to likes. 10 people dislike this video, 1 person likes this video. So tell me about majority and minority. All right, let's keep going.
Trump can be and must be expunged. The hate he has triggered, the Pandora's box he has opened, they will not be so easily destroyed. So let us brace ourselves.
Oh, okay, let's stop right there. First of all, there's 10 things to break down in that little 10-second clip. First of all, the reality TV show. This bothers me. Trump's a reality TV host. No, he was a business mogul. It was a real estate mogul that made they made a TV show about that. It's not like the other way around. It's not like what name like a TV show host, like a famous TV show host, like here's the Wheel of Fortune guy. What's his name?
I don't know, but any of them.
Okay,
like,
it's not like that guy just
like
decided.
TJ Lavin, who hosts MTV's The Challenge.
Yeah,
like that's not
like he just decided to run for president.
Yeah, it's a little bit different.
No.
Come on now, he's a businessman.
No.
He's a billionaire mogul.
Yeah, he was involved in foreign affairs and internal affairs way before he got on the show Apprentice.
Yeah, and he didn't even want. He only stepped in and ran for president because he saw what was happening with like the swamp and the corruption and the elites. And that's why they hate him so much.
Right.
They're trying to get him out of office because Trump's getting rid of the corruption.
Right.
He's draining the swamp. He's telling the elitists, no, I have money like you, but I don't want to step on, the working class people. I want to lift up American people.
And the last thing he said here that I want to attack is he said, oh, he's promoting violence in the streets. Trump's the one promoting violence in the streets. Really? Really? So it's not MSNBC and Democrats that are saying it's only peaceful protests. Go ahead, go out and peaceful protests.
And he also talked about how they're racist and this and that. What's funny is Trump has denounced white supremacy multiple times. Actually, there's some like white supremacist groups who are actually supporting Biden now. You know why?
Yeah.
You know why? Because they're mad at Trump. Because
he cares about the black unemployment rate.
He cares about the black unemployment rate. He did the First Step Act, which got a lot of minorities out of jail. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem.
Yeah, white supremacists
He's
don't
supporting
like
the Jews. I mean, so the white supremacists have actually turned their back on Trump because he's not racist. Right. And they're actually, some of them are coming out and supporting Biden now.
Yeah.
You know who actually has legislated law that hurt the blacks and the minorities? Biden 94 crime bill.
Yep.
All right, let's go back to the video.
To hate. Trump can be and must be expunged. The hate he has triggered, the Pandora's box he has opened, they will not be so easily destroyed. So, let us brace ourselves. The task is twofold. The terrorist Trump must be defeated, must be destroyed, must be devoured at the ballot box. And then he and his enablers and his supporters and his collaborators and the Mike Lees and the William Barrs and the Sean Hannitys and the Mike Pences and the Rudy Giulianis and the Kyle Rittenhouses and the Amy Coney Barretts must be prosecuted and convicted and removed from our society while we try to rebuild it.
Wow, there's so much to unpack here. Basically,
you kidding me?
Anybody that I disagree with needs to be expunged from the country.
So he's pretty much saying round up all the Trump supporters,
all the conservatives,
lock them up in jail, kill them.
them.
He's pretty much saying kill them.
He's pretty much saying that
expunge. Like,
what does expunge actually mean? Seriously.
Yeah, like, are you kidding me? Like, he's literally saying to round them all up.
He constantly keeps saying that people that promote violence and hate. It's like, dude, who was the ones in the streets killing people? Who killed David Dorn? It wasn't conservatives that killed David Dorn. It was Antifa and Black Lives Matter that killed David Dorn. They're murdering people in Seattle.
Antifa and BLM has killed way more people just in a short period of time than the police have in multiple years combined.
If you made a percentage of deaths by cops, conservatives, and Antifa, Black Lives Matter, 99% of people are killed by Black Lives Matter and Antifa.
Yeah, compared to like...
It just gets covered up in the media.
Very few people are killed by the police unarmed.
And then they'll say...
BLM and Antifa already has killed so many children, unarmed men, all types of people. It's just
and the media will say, oh, that was just one person. That they don't represent the whole entire organization.
Well, it's happening over and over again. Yeah,
it's happening over and over and over again.
Once, that's a different story, but it keeps happening.
They don't say the same thing about police, though. One bad cop doesn't represent all the good cops. They don't say that.
The one bad cop makes all cops bad, but the bad Antifa people don't make all of Antifa bad. Like, so what? Just the hypocrisy and the double standard.
I'm pretty sure this is where it gets crazy at the end. So we're going to let this play, but of course we'll pause it when we have to.
Rebuild it. And to rebuild the world Trump has nearly destroyed by turning it over to a virus.
Turning it over to a virus, he said. He said that he turned it over to a virus.
So now Trump is responsible. Trump created COVID.
I guess Trump works at the Wuhan lab.
Yeah, he created it in the Wuhan lab and released it. So that's a joke to say that Trump released it on the world. First of all, China is to blame. Let's put blame where it belongs.
Right.
China is to blame. They not only released the virus, whether it was an accident or on purpose, but it was released.
The timing just happened to be while Trump defeated them in the tariff war. That's why the media doesn't talk about the tariff war anymore, because we won the tariff war. China doesn't steal our patents anymore, and they're paying for our services.
But
second of all, and he was getting impeached while it happened too.
China not only is responsible for the virus being released, whether it was accidental or on purpose from the Wuhan lab, but then they lied and tried to cover it up in the beginning. So if they would have just been honest, we would have been able to act quicker. Right. Trump actually acted super fast. He shut down all travel to China, and Nancy Pelosi and Biden called him a xenophobe and said there was no reason to shut down the travel to China. Trump was just being xenophobic, and this is ridiculous. Nancy Pelosi went down to Chinatown and did this whole charade with tons of people. None of them had masks on. It's like, are you kidding? I just this just baffles me.
It's just crazy that people. This is like normal though.
This has now become
normal.
This is
the new normal media.
This has become the new normal when it comes to the mainstream media.
Remember it, even as we dream of a return to reality and safety and the country for which our forefathers died, that the fight is not just to win an election, but to win it by enough to chase, at least for a moment, Trump and the maggots off the stage, and then try to clean up what they left. Remember it, even though to remember it means remembering that the fight does not end November 3rd, but in many ways will only begin that day.
Wow. just the craziness that comes from this person.
So in the end, he mentions the founding fathers and under the country.
Which blows my mind, by the way.
The left is trying. The founding fathers, we fought the Revolutionary War to escape a king and a kingdom. Right. We wanted freedom. We have freedom. The left is trying to erode and destroy our freedom. Yep. They want socialism.
They want centralized power.
They want socialism, which always leads to communism or dictatorship. Always, always, always. Yeah, always. And he has the nerve to mention the founding fathers. If the founding fathers saw what happened to the Democratic Party now, they openly call themselves democratic socialists, they would be rolling over in their graves.
Yeah.
Like, they would be like, are you kidding me? Like, this is not what we.
This is not what we want.
This is why we set up the Constitution, to put all these roadblocks in the way so that they could not destroy our freedom. They could not turn us communist.
Right.
Wow.
So I thought I want to show that video, give our take on it, because, like I said, this is really the norm right now. This is really what it is. This is what people think. People think that they literally are stuck in this fake reality that all Trump supporters, all conservatives, all the Amy Coney Barretts of the world, all the Lindsey Grahams of the world, all the Trumps of the world, they're all evil and need to be expunged, and we need to deal with them accordingly, and that's when the fight starts.
He talks about rounding up and prosecuting and expunging Trump and all his supporters.
And fix the mess that they left.
You know who does that? Fascists.
Yeah.
They round up all their opposition,
right,
and they eliminate them. So,
yeah, so Keith Olbermann's a fascist, and if you don't think so, then I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. I am literally like, I have so much to say, but then I'm also speechless, because it's like everything he said in that video was a lie.
Just complete nonsense.
It was all lies and hate.
Nut. He's nuts. Just look at his face when he's talking. He looks like his eyes look like he's demonic. And he's talking about demonics. He's the one that looks demonic.
So that came from
crazy.
Like a show he does, like the worst person in the world.
Right.
And we looked, every episode is Trump.
Either Trump or some Republican.
It's all about Trump or somebody that supports Trump. It literally, every single one of the episodes had Trump in the title.
He's nuts.
He is so obsessed.
Oh yeah, by the way, his view counts are super low. He used to be really famous back in the day. You would think he'd have more views. He doesn't. His likes to dislikes ratio, all of his videos are 1,000 dislikes and 100 likes.
10 to 1.
That's
dislike.
when you know you gotta quit, dude.
Well,
me and you, we're on YouTube. We get like a couple hundred views of it, maybe not even a video, but at least we have 20 likes and 1 dislike.
Yeah, so
sorry, but like if I was getting 100 dislikes and no likes, I would quit.
Keith has gotten so radical that even the majority of the left is disliking his videos, because even they know that he's overboard and he's lost it and he's nuts.
Yeah, who do you think's watching his videos? Not Republicans.
Only the most radical left, Antifa, BLM, would ever like that video.
That's why I think that's funny, because the like-dislike ratio for people like that gives you an idea of where people are right now mentally in this country. It really does.
Yeah, it really is, and like you said, that is a little bit of anecdotal evidence where it shows how many more dislikes he has than likes.
Yeah.
And then I was also reading a story about a local bakery. I forget which state they're in, and they every election season they do red cookies for the candidate for the Republicans and blue cookies for the Democrats. And they said like the last couple elections, they've actually they keep track of their sale count,
Wow.
and whatever one they sold more of actually has won the last couple presidencies.
Wow.
And they said like we do not support one candidate over the other. We're just telling you that the sales for Trump to Biden are I think they said 5-1.
I think that's pretty obvious. And
So-
I'll close it on this real quick. Is like think about it like basic math, right? If you really want to know what's going to happen in November, and I could be wrong, but this is my personal opinion. Think about it like this: 1 + 1 is 2, right? Everyone knows that. It's not 2 + 3 is not 1 + 1 is 3. So check this out, right? Let's just be super basic here. You got people that support Trump. A lot of people support, millions of people that support Trump, right? Like he would call them the maggots, right? Those people exist. All right. You got people that hate Trump. Okay, that's fine. Let's cancel each other out. It's 0 right there. Let's cancel that out. People hate Trump. People like Trump. Now let's look at Biden. People hate Biden, right? A lot. We hate Biden. That's 1 for the hate. Who really supports Biden? No, come on now. No one really likes Biden. It's only they hate Trump.
That's what I was
that's
talking to a couple
so
people
gets
about
a minus
that.
1. 0 + minus 0, 0, and then a -1.
I was talking about this exact same thing with somebody the other day. I said, nobody actually likes Biden. The only people that say they're voting for Biden are the ones that hate Trump.
Yep.
Tons of people actually like Trump and support Trump. I said, so only the people that really, really hate Biden are going to actually get out of their houses to go vote on election day. I think that all these polls are so skewed because they can just answer a poll online or on the
really
phone.
don't.
But are you really going to go vote?
No.
For just because you hate Trump? Only the people that hate Trump.
That's
but
why they
people
want
that just
early
don't
voting.
like him,
That's why they're pushing early voting because they want people to
people
more
that
votes.
just don't like Biden, they're probably going to end up on election day like, you know what? I really don't like either candidate.
Yeah.
I don't feel one way or the other for Biden. I dislike Trump, but am I going to go vote when I don't like either of them? So that's what I really think is going to be the difference. You got so many people to support Trump. They're all going to show up to vote.
Yeah.
Then you have the people that hate Trump will vote for Biden. And the people that don't really like either of them, I feel like a lot of them are not going to show up.
Yeah.
And that was my whole point when I was talking to somebody about that. Like, if I didn't like either candidate, I wouldn't go vote.
Right.
So, and I feel like a lot of people feel like that, especially like they're going to work and like they want to go home and to their families and eat dinner. Like, are they really going to go out of their way to vote when they don't like either candidate? That's just kind of weird.
So, yeah.
So.